I was doing my 10-minute talk this morning, and I was editing it out, and when I usually allot myself 2 hours to do this, I only took a whole of 30 minutes, and it made me think, we really ought to give ourselves our best shot at success as often as possible. We ought to make it easier for ourselves in the future by putting the effort in early and first and foremost. I give myself 2 hours because if I have a bit of footage that is jumbled, where I make a point, stop that point halfway through to make another point, then come back to that point, or maybe the words are mismatched in my head, mismatched accidentally, then that is a good 15-20 minutes in the editor's chair for maybe a minute or two. But if I try to speak as cogently as possible, as clearly as possible, speak to you in this way, then the resulting edit is going to be so much easier. And what is this exercise if not to try and hone that ability to speak on the first take, on the first shot, to be able to describe to you, all in one take, develop an idea. And so because of that, I'm here reminding myself to not give myself half measures, rather to measure twice and cut once. Give myself the best chance at success whenever I do one of these. Now, on the flip side, I want to address this as well. We perfectionists will tout that information and use it as a means to hurt ourselves, as a means to degrade ourselves, or otherwise be frustrated with ourselves when things don't go our way. We will say, oh, I could have done this better. I could have done that better. I could have done anything different. But to affect the former piece of advice, I want to say that it is even more important to have an understanding of your skills, your abilities, what you can do at any given point, and constantly taking inventory of what you can and can't do. If in the past month you haven't been able to string 2 words together like I have, judging yourself by what you're able to do 6 months ago is not fair to you. Something's changed, something's happened, and instead of attacking yourself, you must address what did. Have I been sleeping properly? Have I been eating properly? Have I been drinking enough water? Have I been consuming media and information? What habits of mine changed around this result that I want that I'm not doing? I love the idea of a flower VTuber. For those of you who are not familiar, I had a conversation with my chat about whether or not a person is a weed, that is to say, hardy, able to grow anywhere, is able to withstand so much and beat themselves up in order to succeed, or if they are a flower, if they are one of the prettiest things to look at, but everything needs to go right for that flower to bloom. Right? In fact, I think many more of us think that we are weeds when we are not. And many of us don't realize how much goes into your success. Maybe you are hardier than me. Maybe you can prosper wherever. But if you find yourself caught, stuck, not knowing what's going wrong and why you can't do this thing before, it is worth taking a look at everything, at yourself, at what's going on, and take care of yourself. We don't do things in spite of our body, of ourself. It should work with us, and we should give ourselves the best shot we can to do the things we want. Giving yourself your best shot isn't just doing it perfectly the first time, but giving yourself the care you need in order to proceed and continue. I, for example, am reticent to sleep past 10:30 because if I do, I always wake up at 7:30 a.m. And if I sleep any later than 10:30, then I'm not getting 8 hours of sleep. And what does that mean? Brain fog, confusion, grumpiness. And in doing that, I sabotage myself for the next day. I don't do the work I want to do. I don't complete the things I want to complete. And my efforts are subpar. And then I get frustrated with myself, and I stay up late, and it happens again, and again, and again. And if I had just stopped to look at myself and went, hey, you need to sleep at this time for you to work. If I had just done that, I would have given myself the best shot I had to record one of these cogently, right? Similar with eating. If you were constantly holding stomach pain or fog or a lack of energy due to a lack of carbohydrates in your body, then you're not giving yourself your best shot. Abusing yourself doesn't give you the chance you need to succeed. I have problems. I have a lot of problems. I'm a delicate flower, which makes me even more compassionate towards individuals who have the disability of constant pain. I think that is incredibly, as a person who sensorially is very sensitive, for someone to live with chronic pain, it's hard for me to imagine how much it takes to push them towards what they need to do. I'm thinking about a Austin McConnell video. For those of you who don't know, Austin McConnell had open heart surgery recently and also had a stroke. And in both of those medical mishaps, they had to do a lot of work toward getting themselves better. And I think it really speaks to the very core of what I'm trying to say. They are a filmmaker, they are a writer, they are a brilliant creative, and they got hit so hard by life that picking themselves up is one of the hardest things that they can do. To be able to speak the way that they were used to, work the way they were used to, it must have been frustrating. I can't even imagine how frustrating it was to pull yourself back together after that. But they showed up every day. They did the homework, as frustrating and as annoying as it would have been, and they're getting better and better every single day. That's giving yourself your best shot, your best chance at creating tomorrow. That effort that they put in, looking at themselves, measuring themselves and realizing, I can't do what I want to or need to right now. I just need to work on myself. And once that is ready, once that is able, I can move forward and attain the skills, regain the skills I need to push. That's inspiring to me. It's something I honestly need to work on myself. Giving your best shot doesn't mean doing the thing perfectly, but making yourself as ready and able to grab that opportunity to do that thing. And once you do that thing very well, once you give it your all, investing in yourself and that thing, the rest of the editing is going to be super easy. Ding, 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 10 minutes.